yesterday I got to go, that would be Saturday, I got to go to Tulsa and go to a mini-con as well as a couple of sales. Wizards Asylum Comics and Games was having a sale, also having a mini-con. And then after that I went to Shadow Mountain Comics. This was a big haul. I won't be able to cover it all in this video. It's going to take a couple of videos, and so maybe 3. But I just wanted to go over, first of all, the stuff that I found at Wizards Asylum, just stuff out of their stock, and not even stuff that I got from one of the dealers there at the mini-con. So I wanted to start with this Generation X ash can, and this is actually something that I have. I actually found one at a vintage stock a few years ago that was signed, and I don't remember who it was signed by. Again, background noise, you know my house, video games, musicals, that kind of thing going on. But anyway, I was always a fan of Chris Bachalo's art. I was always a fan of Generation X. I loved it. It was a great comic. And Chris Bachalo's art, I've always enjoyed it. I've never stopped enjoying it. But I liked his early style on the book. And so, you know, the black and white promo pieces in the ash can is really cool. But anyway, like I said, I've got one of these. It was signed by somebody, and I don't remember who, but I found it for $1, you know, at vintage stock. But anyway, just really kind of cool to have those. I like the full wraparound cover for the little thing there, and just really kind of cool. I'll start with the half price stuff. Now, they had a sale. They had a special on their wall books. Their wall books were half off. And one of the things that I grabbed, which was marked at $7, so I got it for $3.50, was the House of Mystery number 204 with a Bernie Wrightson cover and story in there. All right. So I love the cover. Great Bernie Wrightson cover. And story, Bernie Wrightson story is the majority of the book. Just great Wrightson horror stuff. And but anyway, just really fun book. Anytime I didn't used to even touch these House of Mysteries, but I've come to really appreciate them over the years. Also have this was the weekend of finding books with great art by Filipino artists, and because also in this book is a story by Alex Nino, and I just love the splash there in that book, the first splash page, and great stuff. You know, but you can't beat Bernie Wrightson and Alex Nino in a DC 70s horror book. But anyway, so that was half price. That was $3.50. And then I also got, now I felt like this was a coup. I like the old magazines. This is actually an old Curtis magazine. I'm not even sure I have any other Curtis magazines. And in fact, I didn't even know much about them. Actually, they were called Magazine Management Company. Okay, so anyway, though, this is Legion of Monsters #1, and great Neil Adams cover there, beautiful stuff. This was actually marked at $20, and so which means half price. I got it at $10, which is a hard book to find. Now, true enough, a little bit of damage there on the spine, and you know what? I don't care. Just to have this book in my collection, I love it, and because I always liked all the old classic monsters, and there you have it. You know, that you have a lot of those right there. But you know, just great pinup stuff in here as well. There's a Frankenstein by Pablo Marcos, and I love that. But then you also have you have stories by Val Merrick, Dan Adkins, Pablo Marcos. You just have I was trying to think. Besides, you also have the Neil Adams cover, as I pointed out. You have Ralph Reese doing work in here, and so just a really enjoyable book. You got Dick Giordano, so you know you can't go wrong with this book. So anyway, just a great book. Plus, the thing still has gloss on it there. I mean, you know, despite the spine damage, you covered it. I love that book for $10 all day long. Now the rest of these are all dollar books, and I had been to Wizards Asylum just a few days before, maybe a week before, and these weren't in their dollar boxes then, but found some. Like I say, this was the day of the great Filipino artist's work. This is House of Secrets number 121. That was in the dollar box. Look at the shine on that, the gloss. I love that cover. And so, you know, just a great cover. I looked up before I started to do this video, I looked up who did these covers. Now I've forgotten. They're all Filipino artists, though. You also have Ramona Fradon doing a story in this one called Child's Play, okay? And always enjoyed her stuff. Now here's the thing. I knew Gary, I don't even know if I'm pronouncing his name right, Gary or Jerry Talaoc, Gerrytalaoc. And did a lot of inking for the Incredible Hulk, Sal Buscema's pencils for the Incredible Hulk in the 80s. And he did a story in here, which I didn't even realize, didn't know he was one of the Filipino artists, and also didn't realize that he did some DC horror work in the 70s, which he did. But I always liked his style. I liked him inking Sal Buscema's work. And then you have a story here by E.R. Cruz, another great Filipino artist. And it starts there on that page. And just also love the way he signs his name there. And so one of these days I'm going to do some extensive videos on some of these Filipino artists, but they're worth knowing about. So that was House of Secrets number 121. Here's House of Secrets number 129. I can't wait to press this one because it's already got a really nice sheen gloss, and the next one actually is going to be even better. But nice gloss, so I'm going to press that. Again, dollar box fare. I couldn't believe it, but actually this one starts off with a great story by Frank Reyes, with the artist Frank Reyes, and I love that opening splash page, and you know, almost human. But Frank Reyes did a story in here. Let's see who else. You also have like I say, just great stuff. These I'm really being all of a sudden getting turned on to these DC horror books from the 70s. Ernie Chua. Ernie Chua does a story in there, and he, you know, and always loved his work. Some of these guys too, it seemed like their style was a little bit different for DC and for Marvel, and I have to believe it's because of the style of the type of stories they were doing. But they're great studies. The Filipino artists are great studies, and just a horrific last pager there, you know, or second to last pager. But anyway, great stuff, and so again, was House of Secrets 129, then House of Secrets number 132. Now check out this gloss, and I'm going to press it because it actually has a cover crease on the back side, a cover stacking crease, I guess is what you say. But check that out. That is actually another Ernie Chua, or in this case Ernie Chan, you know, depending on who, you know, what he was going by at the time. But just a wonderful, really nice, spooky, shiny cover there. Number 132, House of Secrets, with again, great work. I'm just going to start going back and looking for these some of these artists, or some of these books with these artists. But Leopoldo Durañona did one of the stories in this book. Another Filipino artist, okay, but actually he might have been Argentine, I can't remember. And then there's one in here, Rubeni, and I know, I can't remember, Rubeni, he actually is Ruben, and his last name starts with Y, but I can't remember what his last name is, but sometimes he would just sign Rubeni. And so got a Rubeni story in there, and but just lots of great moody, spooky stuff, which of course you get with House of Secrets. Like I say, I'm kind of new coming in. I'm 52 years old, but I'm kind of new coming into these House of Secrets. I'm going to start finding more of those, okay? And then, again, out of the dollar box, it just gets better and better. Here is a, let me get the number first. This is actually a Gold Key Tarzan, and this may make the one Gold Key Tarzan that I have, but it's Russ Manning art. So if you get a Gold Key Tarzan, you want Russ Manning art. It is number 167, May 1967, and again, great gloss on that. I'm going to press it. It's going to look even better. But obviously there's a need for press over here. May do some more pressing videos. Haven't done any of those in a while. But I love the deep colors on that, the painted cover. I mean, just great stuff. I don't usually go for Tarzan books, but this was a Silver Age Tarzan book with Russ Manning art in the dollar box. You'd have to, someone should have, if I'd walked away from that, should have smacked me, okay? What we have here is a comic from 1963. This is Black Hawk number 183, dollar box fare. And again, that one even has a little bit of gloss, okay? So that's going to get pressed as well, but Black Hawk. Now, folks, for those Black Hawk fans out there, more power to you. Don't take this personally. I couldn't care less about Black Hawk. But again, Silver Age, DC, Black Hawk, and I know that Black Hawk has real followings out there. This could be an AOC. If somebody likes Black Hawk or something like that, you might let me know. And I'll press it, send it your way. Okay? So that is, there's an offer for you right there. So anyway, just really cool stuff. I don't think I've ever read a single Black Hawk. I may have to read it before I do anything else with it. Here's one that I'd never heard of before, never even heard of. Obviously I've heard of Archie. It's an Archie series. I'm going to take this one out just so we can get a better look at it. But this is a very obvious Donald Duck knockoff. You ever heard of Super Duck? I've never heard of Super Duck. Black cover, obviously shows all the imperfections. I'm not sure if I'll press this one or not, but just kind of, I bought it because it was $1 and I'd never heard of it, and I like to learn. I like to learn about the stuff that's out there. And this one was copyright 1957, but you know, in these books where I couldn't care as much maybe about or I don't care as much maybe about the characters, I like the ads. Check out the Schwinn ad on the back. Just Schwinn fun, you know. I mean, who doesn't love that kind of thing? But anyway, Super Duck. Who knew? Super Duck. Golden Age goodness. Just on the edge of the Silver Age. I know some people say the Silver Age started in 57, 58. Now this one, I haven't told my daughter about this one. She likes Archie, but this one I'm not sure I'm going to give up. 1963, okay? This is Pet Comics number 164. Now this has a Josie story in the back. I didn't see the Pussycats, but I did see Josie, just a Josie story in the back. And so this one I think I may spruce it up a bit and just hold on to this one for a little while, but just kind of see what happens. There's Josie, a small favor. So there's a Josie story in the back there. I don't know anything about Josie and the Pussycats except they were in the comics and they used to have a Saturday morning TV show. Okay, so that's what I know about that. But I thought, find that in the dollar box, snap it up. Okay, here's the last dollar bit from Wizards, and this will be the last of the Wizard stack. I think I may get into, what are we at on time here, 15 minutes? Yeah, I may wait until next time to get into anything else, but I love these magazines. This is actually a, let me see what the year and everything. This is also Curtis. I wasn't sure. Magazine Management. This is a Doc Savage magazine. I'll show it to you here just as soon as I get this is volume 1, number 5, and there it is, a dinosaur cover. Who doesn't like dinosaurs? And who doesn't like those painted Doc Savage Doc Savage covers either? But the best thing about this one is the story, with like a 47, 48 page story by Doug Munch, never know how to pronounce his name either, M-O-E-N-C-H, and Tony DeZuniga, another great Filipino artist. And so this, like I say, this was a big score this last yesterday for me for Filipino artists. But I always liked, I've got a couple other of these Doc Savage magazines, and I really like them. I like the fact that they were drawn for black and white consumption. A lot better than color comics that were, you know, I have a lot of the Marvel Essentials, and I enjoy them. But comics that were actually penciled and inked for black and white consumption, they always turn out so much better. But Doc Savage, can't beat it. And actually there's also, let me get real quick to a, seems like there's a pinup in here. There's a pinup I have Doc Savage by Marshall Rogers. And gotta love that. So Marshall Rogers doing Doc Savage. Love to see a whole story by Marshall Rogers, but there you go. So anyway, that's a few dollar books that I picked up this weekend. There's a bunch more, and I'll do another video or two of the rest of that later this week. But that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next video.